bewitching time once again, my friends. Now last year, I did a video on this game right here, Castlevania. Now, last year I had a very low quality camera, so the recording only started about mid-level 3 because it jammed up for some reason. Well, I figured this time I do it again, but give as good of a walkthrough that I can offer you. Let's begin. Let's open up with a little bit of a demo. Just want to make sure that the sound is synced up in case there's any problems. Okay, now let's begin with the very epic cutscene after the startup screen. So right away there'll be all these goblets of fire. You'll just want to whip them, and you'll get different power-ups. The whip itself has 3 of them, but you probably already know most of this. But here's something that you might not know. At the beginning of this doorway here is a secret trick. If you jump just right, you'll get a secret money bag. Let's try that again. Note that this jump may take a few tries. You just gotta find that right sweet spot for it to work. There we go. And then to retrieve the money, you just jump across like so. It's an extra 1,000 points right there. Now into the castle. There's an extra 700 points. Up here, I believe, is the holy water. If you put it just right, the dog will run into it. Now here's another secret. Just whip this one block here for another, I believe, 600 points? Oh, 400. That was close. And then here is an invincibility cross. And here is an invincibility cross. Gets rid of all the enemies on the screen. After crossing the first door, if you need to refill on health, there's a pork chop hidden in this wall here. And yes, that's what they actually call it. Looks more like a big ham to me, but I'll leave it at your discretion. There's another 700 points. Now right above me is the stopwatch. I personally don't want that, but you may need it along the way. Now here's another secret for you. Whip away this block right here, and then you want to kneel on the one directly beneath it. But if you jump up from up here, it'll activate the trick. Now the power-up only stays up there for a little bit of time, so you gotta be quick about it. Then up in this room we have another cross. Here we have another cross. And there is an invincibility potion. That's for about 4 seconds. Now for the boss here, I find the axe to be the easiest weapon to use, but you might find other weapons to be more useful for yourself. So just feel free to experiment. Another little trick. If you hit an enemy multiple times with the same weapon, you'll get extra points for it. and maybe even power-ups, which will come up later in this walkthrough. Now after getting the axe, or whatever power-up you desire, this block right here is a double shot, which allows you to throw 2 of whatever item you want at once. Now this boss isn't too difficult because each hit he takes is actually 2. Pick up the orb, and that's the end of level 1. Now the candle directly above you is a cross. Whether you want it or not, it's up to your discretion once again. Now there's another secret right here. Just break away the blocks here, stand in, and you get a crown. This is worth 2,000 points. Now this other trick right here only works with certain weapons, but if you knock away this block, you get a double shot. After crossing the door, you meet one of the most annoying enemies of the game, the Medusa heads. If you time it just right, you won't get hit, but for the first time, it'll be pretty complicated. Okay, now here's another trick right here. Stand on this block, looking at the knight, wait for about 5 seconds, treasure. And there we go, I just got an extra life because of the extra points. Now for this part you want to be quick, otherwise the Medusa heads will knock you off the platform. But after that part, it's not too complicated. Now if you survived the Medusa onslaught, but took a few hits, there's another pork chop right here. Now in this part, you'll definitely want the clock stopwatch, because it makes it a lot easier with the Medusa heads going by. After an onslaught of Medusa heads, you'll come to the next door. Once again, if you take a few hits, there's another pork chop. Now here, I always find it best to use the stopwatch. Hit there, then get the holy water, and then just wait for the timing from there. The one in the middle is the most tricky because it's the shortest to travel. Oh, there's a cross. Seemed like that glitched the game. Okay, now right here is another one of those double shots that only works with certain weapons. The holy water is one of them, which is the one I'll be keeping for most of this. Now occasionally, I'm not really sure why, but sometimes the candle above you, once you get the double shot in that room, there'll be a triple shot. Let's see if it happens this time. Yep, triple shot. Then there you'll come to the second boss. As for me, I personally like using the holy water. Just watch and you'll see why. If you just keep pounding holy water on most of the bosses, they'll be paralyzed, but they'll still take damage. So basically just do that a few times, and there you go. However, if you decide not to use the holy water, the Medusa head boss will drop snakes that you'll have to watch out for as you're whipping it. And after that, it's on to level 3. And this is where my other video picked up, but I'm going to keep going. And here you are introduced to the Hunchbacks, one of the other annoying enemies of the game. If you whip them right away, they won't cause too much damage, but they can bounce around and really ruin your day. However, if you take damage, there's a pork chop here. And then here's where the game introduces, I believe, the crows or the ravens. I forget what they call them. You just get away from this ghost. Wait for that one to activate, and then whip it. Now there'll be another crow. If you're on the stairs, you can't be knocked off. However, it didn't matter there anyway. Now right here is an axe, and here's some more hearts. Like I said before, I'm just keeping the holy water. Right here is where the Medusa heads make another comeback. If you just walk forward, they won't hurt you. But because of the skeleton here, you'll have to go back and forth a few times to be able to get a few hits in. Now right here is another secret. Notice that there's 2 blocks right here. Just kneel, and you get some more money. Now, if you want to continue with the weapon you're holding, do not collect the clock there. If you just keep walking forward, jump, and then whip at the right time, you won't take any damage. And then there'll be another skeleton throwing bones right away, so just simply jump and then whip him. Keep going forward, he won't hit you. Right there in the background you can see Dracula's tower. Doesn't seem that far away, does it? Well, it's a trick. For here, you just want to find the right spot where you won't get hit by either the Medusa heads or the statues. And then if you take more damage, just whip this block right here, and you get a pork chop. I got him right where I want him. However, as you saw before, the mummies will throw bandages. If you're gonna whip them, or use any other weapon, just be careful not to take too many hits. Stay strong, and you'll win. Now you may have noticed how close Dracula's tower is. In fact, it's right above our current location. However, oh no, we fell down a pit. And we gotta continue this way. Now here, what I highly suggest is to collect all the hearts, and the way to do that is whip it by standing right underneath it, otherwise you'll miss the power-up. That will make things really difficult, so the time stopper is very useful here. However, if you want to continue with the holy water, you'll actually get it back real soon. See, there it is. There's just nothing you can do whenever that happens. The main thing to remember is to stay crouched, otherwise it'll just push you off the platform and you'll die instantly. Same thing with this one. Just stay crouched and you'll be safe. After making it through that, just touch these stairs and you'll go automatically up. Now here is where the hunchbacks start to get really annoying. Like I said before, if you whip them real quickly, you don't have to worry about taking any damage. Now if you want to keep the weapon that's in your slot right now, be sure to go ahead slowly, because occasionally the hunchbacks will leave interesting little gifts for you. Now, as soon as you come to the gate, you'll come to this skeleton snake thing. Basically, what you want to try to do if you have the holy water is try to create a small little fire when he ducks his head down real low, and there you will get a double shot. It might take a few tries, but it'll pay off. See, and there's the double shot. Now just be warned, one of these candles... Now just be warned, this candle right here is a dagger. If you don't want the dagger, don't whip it. And there we go, there's a triple shot. Now here's another pork chop for you. The holy water makes this level a lot easier, as you can tell. However, if you're not using the holy water, you just gotta find the right space and the right rhythm, and you won't get hit by the fireballs. Now, with the holy water in this level, just simply do what I've done with the other bosses, and just keep using it. However, if you're only able to get the double shot, just be sure to throw them slowly. And that's the end of the level. Now, the Frankenstein we had there was frozen solid because he kept taking damage from the holy water. If you want to try to do it the real way, basically you want to watch out for the hunchback that's on top of his head, which will jump around and throw fireballs at you. As for Frankenstein, he'll just kind of move back and forth slowly. The hunchback cannot be destroyed, so be careful. If you're tough enough, you can do it. Now right in this level, they start with the hunchbacks. Just run forward and try to kill them as fast as possible. Now notice that I picked up the dagger there. I still want the holy water with the triple shot with this boss. I want to show you how it works. Right there is where you pick up the holy water. Try not to pick up any other weapon, and I'll show you how to get the double shot and the triple shot. Go a little further, and you'll be introduced to the red skeletons. They take only one hit, but they won't stay down, as you may have noticed. Now if you're taking a few hits there, there's a pork chop right here. But if you want to jump upward, you'll need that block to do so. Now there's an interesting glitch with this knight here. If you just keep moving forward, he'll eventually walk off screen, and he'll never come back again. Now with this knight, I find it easiest to pour on the holy water, and then have him walk into it. Observe. Just do that a few times, and there you go. He's dead. Now if you want to continue with the holy water like me, do not... Now, if you want to continue on with the holy water like me, do not get this candle. That is an axe. Go up the stairs, and I believe this candle right here will give you a double shot. Yep. Now the holy water technique can also work here as well, but you can also whip them at the same time. Now you climb up the stairs here, and break away the blocks, and there is the triple shot. With certain weapons, it'll just give you a big heart. Once again, I'm not really sure why. Now, unlike the knights in Castlevania 3, you don't have to worry about whether the axe comes high or low. Just as long as you whip it, it'll get destroyed. If you go in through that door, you'll come face to face with one of those statues again. Just gotta find the right distance and the right rhythm, and you won't get killed. Now with the red skeleton, you either gotta destroy the statue quickly, or wait for them to turn around and then destroy the statue. Now if you took damage throughout that, they'll give you another pork chop right here. Which is for the best, because this next room is quite difficult. Now once again, the holy water trick will work just fine with those knights. And look at that, I got an invincibility potion. Now if you're doing this without the holy water, it's all about the timing. Okay, now here we get to the Grim Reaper. I must confess one thing right now. I've never beaten the Grim Reaper the real way. However, I will show you the way I have beaten him. And the best way about doing it this way is you won't take any damage if done correctly. Now, just like Frankenstein, you could do this with the double shot, but if you do it with the triple shot, it'll be a lot easier. So basically what you want to do is you want to just set fire to this platform until the boss is dead. Now once again, because he was frozen, you weren't able to see the true nature of his attack. Basically, 5 giant scythes will just randomly generate throughout the room, and then they will come right after you. If you want to do it the real way, you gotta watch out for those scythes, as well as watch out for the Grim Reaper, which will shift platforms as well. But if you're able to defeat the Grim Reaper, you're on to the last level. And basically this part right here is all about just timing your jumps correctly. For example, right here. Because there are so many bats, and they take so much damage, there's really no point in staying behind trying to take them out. There I got lucky, but it's all about timing. Now if you're able to survive that onslaught, they'll give you a time stopper here, which will come in real handy. The only problem is they didn't give you that many hearts, so you gotta know where exactly to use it for you. And after that, you enter right into the final room. Now the best way to avoid taking hits is to stand as close to the wall as possible and wait for the skeleton to come to you. And then here is where we meet our old friend the Hunchback. Stay right here and the skeleton will come right to you. Now if you take too many hits, there's a pork chop right here, but use it sparingly as the hunchbacks will just keep coming. Now also remember, if you're on the stairs, they can't knock you off, but these birds can come in the way and hit you and kill you. Then go up the stairs, and you have survived. go up these stairs, and there you'll find Dracula. Now the first thing you want to do, because you have everything continues, is just commit suicide. Because there's no way you're going to beat Dracula if you have any hits prior to actually going into him. You can try it if you want, but I would not suggest it. So basically here becomes the tedious chore of collecting all your power-ups. I'd say wait until your heart count reaches till about 30, and then you can go after Dracula. And for those that are worried getting those hearts will reduce your time, they give you a lot of time to make sure that you can actually get all those hearts. Now here you have either two choices. You either have the cross or the holy water. I personally think the cross is the best, because the only weak points are Dracula's head, and you really can't reach those with the holy water. Now if you time this first part just right, you can get 3 hits on Dracula. Now there's no way to predict where Dracula will go, so just try to move as much as possible. And basically you want to jump at the last second, that way the fireballs won't hit you. And here's a nice little trick I discovered. Throw a weapon, and you get extra points at the fireballs. If you do it enough times, they'll leave you a double shot. And if you do it again, they'll leave you a triple shot. Alright, something very important here. Once the last hit happens, then you have to battle Dracula's final form. Now here is where you'll need the double shot slash triple shot. Now if you time it just right, you can hit the fireballs and he can't hurt you. However, he'll eventually jump in and he might kill you. The main thing to keep in mind is don't jump until he reveals his cape. If you do, the fireballs will go high, and you won't be able to dodge them. Which is really nice for the cramped corners. The main tactic I like to employ if you're using the cross is try to keep one up in the air at all times. That way, if he's at the other end, you can still get a hit in. Now while he's regenerating, you can still get a few hits in, just in case. The main thing you gotta watch out for is the fireballs. And there you go. It might take quite a few times, and to be honest, I feel like it depends on the day whether you can defeat Dracula or not. But just stay tough, and you can do it. And there you get new music when you collect the orb. And after that, You get the end credits. Now, just like the original Super Mario Bros., if you push start here, or just wait, you'll be introduced to hard mode. Which, I'll show you why it's called hard mode in a moment. This is probably the only part in hard mode where you aren't being bombarded by enemies. As you'll notice, there's a lot more bats in this level. There's also a lot more Medusa heads in other levels. Now, for those of you that are curious, I put in a game Genie code one time. Essentially, this game will just keep looping. I've played through it 3 times. And after you beat it the first time, it's essentially just the second time over and over. Hard mode, over and over. So yeah, that's Castlevania on NES. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.